Cosmere can be a confusing place.
From allomancy to surge binding, there's a lot to look out for.
We're your hosts and escorts to the realms. I'm Griff.
And I'm Alex.
And this is the Silverlight Guide to the Cosmere.
All right, welcome back, bookworms. Once again, we are here in your ear to talk about...
Does that make us earworms?
Yes.
Okay.
We are the earworms for the bookworms.
I mean, you know, it makes sense.
Yeah, and I just sniveled so loudly into the microphone. I apologize. So today we are going to talk about the Sunlit Man box.
Yes.
Which we know everybody's favorite is listening to us physically describe items.
Of course.
With no visuals.
They have the highest ratings of all of our episodes.
In fact, they do not. By far. But what we have before that is a lot of cool Dragonsteel convention news.
Right.
So the first thing is, at the moment, 78 people have tickets to come to our live recording.
That is fantastic.
Wow. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Way to make me nervous. We are going to have prizes. If you sign up in the following weeks, you'll receive several emails about a poll we're going to get direct from our fans. 18 of you have answered. We're going to get direct from the people who have tickets what they want us to talk about in terms of future Cosmere novels.
Yes.
Which it's looking like Mistborn eras 3 and 4.
Which is going to be interesting because that is very speculative conversation.
Yes. Well, so they're all speculative.
I mean, yes,
in general.
but this is fair. This is fair. But I can't say I'm surprised, to be perfectly honest, because Mistborn, I think, even more than Stormlight Archives, is his most popular series.
Sure.
Probably also because the books don't run 1,000+ pages, which
is a big help.
Yeah, I love the Stormlight Archives. I love the fact that there are 1,000+ pages, but I understand why a lot of people would find that really daunting to try to take on. So I can understand why the Mistborn saga so far has been a bit more popular.
I agree. And then if you're planning to come and you want to win one of the prizes, we are asking for submissions on alternate titles to Stormlight Archive 5.
Yes.
In the format of the initials of it need to be KWT, preferably KOWT.
Yes.
Because as we've talked about before, the Stormlight Archives is a palindrome starting
thus far, yes.
If you just take the initials of all of the books. So we've had some great submissions so far.
Okay.
I think we should give one prize to the funniest and one prize to the best.
Yes, I agree. That's probably a good option.
We have some great ones. Also at Dragonsteel, like we've talked about before, at our booth, we are going to have stickers for sale.
Yes.
I am going to list off some of the ones that we have stickers for.
And I've been seeing the designs that you have been doing, and they are absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. So we're going to have Risen, Lopin, Zellion, Wayne, all the main characters generally.
Right.
I was just reading some. We're going to have each of the Spren that bond Radiant Orders, but they're cognitive realm forms.
Yes.
Adolin and Shardplate, Zeth with Nightblood, Chrysalia, Sazed. We're riffing off the pins that they've sent out for the Stormlight, or for the Year of Sanderson. Let's see. Yeah, so we have a lot to do, but oh man, they're looking great. So we're going to have Doom Slugs. We're going to have Hello, My Name is Doug. Going to have some Tensoon Conjure ones. We're going to have Nightblood decals, small little Nightblood sword decals that people will be able to stick on whatever.
You know what we should do?
What?
And this is more kind of a side thing. This could be something that could be done very gradually. I think you should read the Steelheart trilogy.
Yeah.
So that we could do stickers of those characters as well. Because they are Sanderson.
Yeah.
And they're superhero.
Right.
And honestly, he does some really unique concepts that I think you would enjoy.
Cool.
And Yeah, I think you should. I think you should read them. I'm sure they have audio versions somewhere.
Yeah, I'll think about that over the next year, because the stickers would really only be for the Dragonsteel Con.
No, I
so,
know.
yeah.
I realize, but
Yeah.
and I realize that his Reckoner series, I said Steelheart series. The series is actually called Reckoners. It's not necessarily one of his most popular. I
Yeah.
don't think. I mean, it was popular enough though to sell 3.5 books. I think.
Just 3.5? Oh, you mean like he published 3.5?
Yes, he published.
I thought you were going to add a 3.5 million. I was
No,
like,
no,
wow.
no.
That's a lot of books.
He published 3.5 books. There was 3 books and a novella.
Sure.
And I enjoyed them. I'll say my only complaint was that the end to the entire trilogy was a little bit lackluster.
Sure.
It was that was a smidge
Way to sell me.
I will. Okay, let me put it this way. I don't know how else Sanderson would have ended it.
Okay.
Okay, I know what I would have done, but that's not important.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Tangents.
spoil anything for you.
Yeah.
But I still think that they would make interesting character designs. Let me put it that way.
Sure.
So
That's fair. Yeah. Working on ideally getting all of the main Stormlight characters done, especially for Stormlight Archive 5 next year. Then they just announced that they have more pins for Series 1.
Oh, okay.
They have Tress, Mervyn the Wizard from Frugal Wizard's Guide,
Right.
Yumi,
Okay.
the Sunlit Man, and Spencer with the Doomslug. So they're going to have those. They are also going to have...
Are those only going to be sold at the con?
Yes. So those and what I'm about to mention are going to be sold at the con, and then any extra will be put online.
It seems rude that the 4 main characters of the secret novel projects are not coming in the secret novel project boxes.
Yes, but also I can see why they wouldn't do it for Sunlit Man and Tress. Only because somebody might open the box and not read the book right away, and then they might get a little spoiled about what is going on in the story. Really,
I mean, I guess it depends on the design of the pins.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. We don't need to spoil things for
Right.
people.
No. I mean, it would heavily depend on the design of the pins.
Yes.
Because, like, I don't think Tress or what's the Frugal Wizard's character?
Marvin.
Yeah, Marvin
or
something like that. I don't think either of those would give it away.
No.
Really. I don't even think that Yumi would give it away.
No, probably not.
I could see the Nomad
Yes.
giving it away.
Yep.
Potentially.
Yes.
As I said, it depends on what design they go with.
Right. And so, okay, so the pins and then these items, they're going to have a teacup from Tress,
Okay.
a Mervyn plush, a ramen bowl
Okay, that's
with
cute.
it's got a really cool design, and then I believe it's a red shirt. It's the same color red as the book, and it's a t-shirt, and it's the Sun Run, and it's a sponsored like marathon.
Oh,
it's got
okay.
sponsors on the bottom, and then it's got in the style of the art of the book, it's got people running.
Clever. Not what I initially
as-
thought it was going to be, but clever.
Yeah, and it's from the first scene
Right.
or the first
right.
chapter
Yeah,
of the book. So
what I thought it was going to be, and I don't. This is right before you stated
yeah,
what the Sunlit Man themed one was going to be. An idea popped into my head, which was a Sunheart nightlight.
that would be good. Yeah, I imagine that the t-shirt was probably a fallback from something really cool. But another small update, which I think I may have mentioned in the Sunlit Man review, but some people, when they get their Sunlit Man box, the pin, which we're going to talk about here in a while, they put the wrong backing on it. And so it's actually the backing from box 12, which then spoils the pin for box 12.
You did mention this.
And what I would urge you to do, listeners, dear bookworms, is not post it on social media saying, haha, look, they messed up. Because some people think that that's not a spoiler, when indeed it is a spoiler. So keep it to yourself. They made a mistake. It's easy to see why if you get it, all right? But just keep it to yourself, all right? That's all I'm asking. And in fact, you could probably reach out to Dragonsteel and they may replace that specifically for you, because I know some people are displaying it with the backing.
Right.
And I would be upset if mine had the wrong backing.
Yes.
So I think that is all of the Dragonsteel Con. Oh, no. Since our last recording, they updated how they're doing the signings.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is exciting. It's going to allow approximately half of the attendees to get a book signed. So what they're doing is they're still drawing for the personalizations, where you get 1 book personalized and 3 books signed. Instead of getting to bring a friend, it's only 1 person. Okay? And I don't know how many of those there are. It's probably 300.
Probably.
It might be 600. They may have just doubled it.
Maybe.
But then they're going to have lightning signings. And lightning signings are a single person, single book, no questions, just like a hi. What happens is you will line up, you will hold the book you want out and open to the page,
That you
the
want
front
signed.
page.
Yeah.
And Sanderson will walk down the line signing the books. So that drawing will happen after the initial drawing, right? So you don't get double drawn. And then
Right. So so it's an additional thing where you can get something signed that you might
Yes.
not otherwise be able to.
That's right.
Because that's
So
going to be interesting that he's walking down.
Yeah, that's
Also, can I just say this about Sanderson? Like, I can't say that I have followed a lot of authors' con appearances or things like that. It's not necessarily been something that I have kept up with. But I have to say that based on what I've heard from other people, Sanderson continuously goes above and beyond for his fans.
yes.
And I have to say that, like, I know that this whole box thing was expensive, and I kind of wish he'd given more than a month for people to get the money together.
Sure.
But despite some of my complaints about some of the things, I will say that I have really no reservations about supporting Sanderson and
Yes.
promoting him, because I think that he continuously proves that he wants to be the best he can be for his fans.
Right. Yes, he has a customer service mentality, which he talked about in the latest episode of Intentionally Blank, where he is talking with Scar, his friend Ethan, whose nickname is Scar, who is Scar in the Stormlight books.
Oh, okay.
They did. Dan Wells was out, so they talked, and they talked about writing when you have a job and stuff. So he has a customer service mentality, and I think he really internalizes that. Really, he wouldn't be where he is without fans, and so he incorporates that into how he acts.
And I think that's good, because I think a lot of people tend to sometimes realize that their fans, especially if you are an artist of some sort, I wish it weren't this way, but your fans are your lifeblood.
Right.
And so really you should be acting with that in mind. And I've seen some artists get a little bit on their high horse about their own importance.
Right. Now, if you're making art and it is somehow self-sustaining, as in you don't have to have a lot of fans to enjoy your cost of living,
Right.
and then you don't care what people think, fine.
Yeah, fine.
That is
yeah.
how your art form works. I'm thinking people that make like custom tables.
Right.
That
yeah.
they sell
those
one
are-
piece and they're good for 3 months, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or paintings and that kind of thing. It's like if you're just painting to paint and you're not trying to reach an audience, feel free to be on whatever high horse you want.
right.
But when it is art forms when it is creativity that does depend on fans, there is a stark difference in how I feel about Sanderson versus how I feel about some other authors that I enjoy their works, but I don't follow.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree.
I believe we've gone through 15 minutes now
Yes, that's
without
fair.
talking about what the episode is titled.
But the preamble is expected.
The preamble is expected. So 2 weeks ago, we reviewed The Sunlit Man,
Yes.
and it was wonderful. So we got the boxes in, and this is, to me, visually the most stunning of the secret
I
projects.
completely agree.
Because it is the red that our sunburns aspire to be. It is just a brilliant, deep red with golden lettering. And of course, you can see this online, but you're like, oh my gosh, it's a red book. But then black edges.
Yes, the black
edging.
The black edging of the pages,
Brilliant.
absolutely brilliant.
So brilliant.
The stark contrast of the red, the black, and the gold on the entire theming of this entire book
Right.
is just phenomenal.
It really is.
This is the... I know that I said Yumi was beautiful, and it was. Don't get me wrong.
Yumi is beautiful.
Yumi is gorgeous.
Tress is gorgeous.
Yes. But I believe that Sunlit Man stands an inch above the rest just with its whole composition.
I agree. We have the book itself contains art from 3 artists. Several, I think at least 2 of them worked on the White Sand graphic novel.
That makes sense.
And and there are very different art styles for a lot of the in-book art because it's done by different artists.
Right.
And I have a personal philosophy of, it boils down to yes and.
Right.
Right? So when I see something, I'm like, okay, I'll find what's really cool about it and move on. I don't need to critique it.
No.
Because that's... Crap, wait, this is a review. We are critiquing it.
A little bit.
Dang. Okay, anyways, what I am trying to suggest here is that, especially once you've read the story and you realize it's Mad Max Cosmere,
Right.
the art adds to that chaos, in my opinion.
I completely agree.
So I actually quite enjoy that there are different art styles presenting the characters at different points in the book.
Yes.
Now, along with the book, of course, we got the signature
Sparkly bookmark.
And on Tress and Yumi and Frugal Wizard, I believe, the bookmark on one side was one of the paintings in one of the art pieces in the book, and then on the other side was actually just a zoomed in version of that same.
Yes, it was.
This, we actually have different images.
Yes, we do.
We have Elegy, potentially, and then Nomad, and who is the main girl? Why can I not remember anything anymore? Well, that doesn't work. Can't just open the book and assume that the name's going to be that. Rebecca.
Right. Rebecca. Yes.
Rebecca.
Rebecca. I believe that's how
Rebecca.
the audiobook
Yes.
said it. Was
So-
Rebecca.
So this stands apart, and it's got, I think it's art from the books, but still, gorgeous.
Yes.
Nice
Yes,
and sparkly.
absolutely. Yep.
Nice and sparkly. Now, gonna grab the little this box contains. Well, yeah. All right. A Man Called Nomad. Secret Project 4 wraps up the book boxes from the Year of Sanderson with the tale of a familiar stranger. The Sunlit Man. Across planets, Nomad evades the relentless Night Brigade. Always running, he lands on the world of Canticle, where now he's not just fleeing his own problems, but a lethal sunrise that melts the very stones. Finding himself embroiled in the power struggle of local factions, can he stay one step ahead of his pursuers while navigating the perils of this new world? With gorgeous interior illustrations by Hernanda Souza and Nebetsi Zitro? Guessing there, I am so sorry. And a striking cover by Kudrykin?
Here, let me see it really quick.
Yeah, you go for it.
I'll give it a shot. I'll see what I can see. All right, let's see. Nebetse Zitro, I would say. Kudryakin.
Yeah,
That's how I would pronounce that.
sure.
It's Kudryakin. Considering it's lowercase, I have a feeling that's a username.
It is likely I would guess it is a Japanese artist. They tend to have a moniker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's an alias.
Kudryakin.
But Kudryakin is
Kudryakin.
the way I would pronounce that.
The Sunlit Man completes the set of 4 secret projects. Sunlit Man Sparkly Bookmark. Ignite your reading adventure with a shiny placeholder. Now, then we have the Sunlit Man sticker, which is the image of Nomad from the front of the book
Yes.
with the sun from the front of the book. So it's essentially Nomad with the sun in front of the book in a sticker form.
Yes.
It's very shiny.
It is very shiny. And I enjoy it immensely.
Yes. And then the Cosmere character pin. Brimming with stormlight, Bridge 4's captain has come a long way from his humble beginnings. Brooding, but your best friend in any battle, so long as you're on his side. Here's pin number 10, Kaladin. Yep. And then
it is Kaladin. Okay, one of the things I will say I love about this pin immediately was that he has the spear.
yeah.
He has Syl in the form of a spear, not in the form of a blade.
Has that been done before by people?
Well, what I found is that in the books, after his initial fight with Zeth,
Okay.
he doesn't seem to use Syl in spear form much anymore.
Oh.
And it kind of disappointed me because he was so well versed in the spear. I understand he wanted to study blade fighting to be able to fight
Right.
blade users. But I really was expecting to see Syl in spear form more than he has her
Sure.
in that form. So I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed seeing the pin done with Syl in spear form rather than in sword form.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got his scars, and it's a very nice little pin.
Yes.
It's wonderful. And then the quote from Wit. Let me do some really bad ASMR for you.
Oh, this, yes. I thought you would enjoy this, by the way.
I did. I once ate a live frog, you know. Well, it was mostly like a frog, had an extra leg or two, and was violet in color, but basically the same thing. Slimy, amphibious, etc. Perfectly nauseating in every regard. It wiggled as it went down. When I reflect upon my illustrious life, that moment inevitably surfaces as the nadir of my experiences so far. No, I realize that as terrible, revolting, and miserable as that day was for me, at least I wasn't the frog.
And while most of the quotes have just taken up the small top portion of the box, the top flap, this went from the top flap down one of the sides and into the bottom of the box.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
Yes, it is.
And amazing. Yeah. So this box, 10 out of 10, would buy again.
So I have a challenge,
Oh boy.
or not a challenge. I have a thing that I want to do with our listeners potentially.
Okay.
Is I want to start a petition. We could honestly bring this over to our booth and have it be more con wide than just our listeners.
A petition.
A petition for Sanderson to do the rest of the series in the secret box format so that we can have a lovely matching cover set for all of the books.
Wait, okay, so you're saying every book from now on or just all books?
No, all
Okay.
retroactively.
Retroactively.
Do all of the books that have been published so far in secret project format of the covers, like the they don't even need to be that fancy.
Yeah.
Just give us these nice, solid, quality cover styles so that they match the secret projects, so that we do not have all of the series sitting up there on the bookshelves. And then we have these 4 really, really nice looking ones that look completely out of place compared to all the rest of them.
Yeah. I don't think we need to petition that. I imagine they'll just do that at some point in the future when they're able.
I mean, yes, but if we do a petition,
Okay.
then we can show them that they have a market for it.
Okay. Okay.
And maybe they'll do it sooner.
Maybe. That's a possibility. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I feel like it would not necessarily be bad to be able to go up and show them like, hey, you have a market for this because people like matching sets.
We hack the list of people who backed the Kickstarter and we email all of them. And so we can get 125,000 people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I am completely on board. You find somebody that can hack that list, I am down for it.
We could just ask nicely for it. We can be like, hey, Dragonsteel, we have an idea, but we want to show you empirical proof that it would be profitable for you. So
that's actually not a terrible idea.
Yeah. Well, so
I feel like they could probably send out the email
possibly
from our prompting.
I think while it's definitely something I want, I imagine it's something they're already talking about.
Potentially.
And also something they're probably not going to do in the near future. But I mean, yeah, if you want to start a petition, you go for it.
Let me say this. I feel like there's probably a few series they could do.
Yeah.
Like Mistborn Era 1 is done.
Yes.
It's finished.
Yes.
So I feel like they could release that one with little danger of any new developments coming out to screw with it.
I think potentially, yeah, in a few years at least, because they did just re-release them in mass market paperback.
True.
Or trade paperback.
However, Era 2, that is also finished.
And they also just re-released that in the same format so that you can have Mistborn Era 1 and 2 in the nice shadowed orange red motif.
Right.
Which is how I have my Era 1. And then I have the hardcovers for Era 2.
See, they need to not do that. They need to just release it in this format. And yes, I realize that I'm being unreasonable and selfish.
Yep. Yeah. Well, the one-offs they could do. Warbreaker, Elantris.
Well, okay, but Elantris, I'll agree with you. I feel like Elantris is done. I feel like Warbreaker is going to have another book.
You know that Elantris is going to have a 2 and 3, right?
I did not know that, no.
Yeah.
That said, if they did start doing it moving forward as well, that would also work.
Sure.
So, yeah, they could do the one-offs of Warbreaker and Elantris and then use that format for the hardcovers going forward as well.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even need to be shiny. I'm not even asking for it to be like metallic shiny. That'd be nice.
Sure.
But, like, that's not even required. just this nice sort of minimalist, almost kind of solid color hardcover would be
Sure.
a style I would like to see the rest of the books in. And I think that it would be a step up from normal hardcover, but not quite as expensive as, say, the leatherbounds.
Right.
Because don't get me wrong, the leatherbounds are gorgeous, but they're also really expensive.
Yeah, I think it's $1,000 for the set of all that are out right now.
Yeah.
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 But so I think that's a dream that we can hold on to. Yep. So that's the box.
That is the box, yes.
And stay tuned. What's up?
One last thing.
Okay.
For anybody that's interested in it, and this was an idea that occurred to me just as I was looking at the sticker right now.
Okay.
If you really want to add that added effect, what you do is you put the sticker over something like your laptop light. So that as the laptop light comes on, it's the sun. Currently it's on a backing. I don't know if you can use that as an accurate judge.
Yeah. For those of you who are not here, which is
Everyone
literally
except me.
everybody except Griff, I held it up to the light to see if you could see through it.
But it also still has the backing on it. So I was telling him that it was not an accurate representation.
Yeah. Okay, maybe. Yeah. There's some potential for the laptop light. A little bit. Maybe a little bit.
I'm not going to say it would just add that added effect of
Sure.
like the light shining from behind Nomad
Yeah.
as he stands.
Yeah.
So
If you enjoyed the Sunlit Man, stop by our booth at Dragonsteel Con because I have made a sick chibi Zellion in
Yes.
armor.
I have seen this. It was by far the most impressive that has been done so far.
Thanks.
You have the entire like the cracks from. I'm not going to spoil anything about that,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, that was an incredibly impressive design.
Yeah. And I'm going to have plenty of those, so hopefully we won't sell out. But we're also only making like 100 of each sticker. So if you want chibi stickers of Cosmere characters, you'd probably best stop by our booth quick. We'll be open from 10 until 7 each day with some breaks.
Right.
So, all right.
So until next time, don't panic, World Hoppers.
Life before death, strength before weakness, and getting your vitamin D before destination. I realized the innuendo as you... I was going for sunlight.
I know what you were going for.
Life before death, strength before weakness, and getting enough sunlight before destination.
That probably works a little bit better, yes.
Thanks, Griff.
You're
Thanks for
welcome.
ruining that for me.
Oh, right, because I'm the one. It wouldn't be the audience.
I was innocent.
The music you hear is Part 3, The Spirit, from Zavadilla's The Music of Elantris, produced by B-Roll Records. Available now on Apple Music, Spotify, and most music providers.
If you like what you hear and you want others to hear it as well, please leave a rate and review. It really helps us get more listeners.